Alright, welcome to another episode of Spoiling the Dead with me, your host, Jay Stone, exclusively at rockmetaltalk.com. What you heard right there was Skin Tight Skin, the opening song here. Well, I gotta say, it wasn't moving that much faster than the first episode. The walk to the house in the beginning, home from school, was almost unbearable. The filming, I'm still on the fence. The acting, I'm still not 100% with that. It seems like it's getting better. I think I figured out what the problem is, so we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But as soon as something good's going to happen right to a commercial, all I wanted to do was go to sleep at that point. It's another one of those nights when my voice is pretty shot, so I do apologize for that. So the second most exciting part was, I mean, you thought she was going to walk in and find the zombie once she walked into the house, but that wasn't the case because the door was open. It was her boyfriend who was sick, who was coming down. He must have got bitten by one previously and made it home, and that's why she was wondering where he was for so many days or whatever. But when they killed the first zombie with the truck, after the kid shot him in the first episode, when they were backing out and almost got hit by the tractor trailer. First of all, tractor trailer is never going to stop that fast in time to save your life like that, so that was kind of ridiculous there. If you started tuning in the first time the show was up, there was some technical difficulty where the mic wasn't coming through, so I had deleted that, and I basically started the show over from scratch, so it took me a few minutes to get it going there. I don't know why. It must be something with Windows 10. I'm not too sure, so I'm going to have to look into that when I have some time off from doing the show. And this week, I'm not doing a regular show at rockmetaltalk.com, the Jay Stone Show. I am skipping a week, but the week after that, you'll hear Yogi from Chris Cornell and all that. So we'll worry about that on the Rock Metal Talk site. So if you got any questions, or if you want to Skype in, the username to Skype in right now to talk about Fear the Walking Dead Episode 2 is Rock Metal Talk, so feel free to Skype in at any time and have a conversation with me about the show. If not, oh well, you're all probably watching the episode over, or you're not listening because of the title of the show is Spoiling the Dead, which I don't blame you. But all the guys' kids, all the sons, they're little assholes. They really are. Even the daughter's a little bitch, so it's a little hard to get used to. When you're used to the people on The Walking Dead, these characters are extremely hard to get used to. I almost didn't even make it to do the radio show. It was exhausting. 2 minutes of the show feels like 20 minutes at this point. I had no idea that this series was based on graphic novels that were already written by Kirkman and Adler, or whatever his last name is, but I do have some signed stuff by those guys, so that's pretty cool from the regular Walking Dead. Anyway, I would say right now my feeling about the show is always going to be a comparison to the regular Walking Dead, which makes this feel like Sharknado type. It's just, I don't know. It's not all there for me. It's definitely starting to pick up, though. So I'm going to continue to hang in there. I have no choice other than to hang in there because then they won't be spoiling the dead. So my show is probably worse than theirs because I don't have much to go on. But please, Skype the show, Rock Metal Talk. It's not hard to look us up and add us. So yeah, I mean, just the way the doofy kid walks around that's on heroin, now he's having withdrawals or whatever. They were separated for a time being, but the mother went out to the school and broke into the cabinet where all the stuff was confiscated and got him some pills or something, so they're going to try to wean him off. But I don't know, just the acting, it looks like they're trying to overdo it. I don't know. I don't like their faces. It's just one of those things that I can't get used to. I mean, as crazy as The Walking Dead is, there's still a sense of a lovable character there, if you know where I'm coming from. But like I said, 2 minutes just feels like 20 minutes. It's very long, and drawn out. And I'm not too sure that I'm that excited about it. But we'll see what happens in episode 3, which I guess they're skipping a week as well. So it's 2 weeks for the next episode. So I don't know if they're trying to time it with The Walking Dead at this point. But I really do think that I figured out what the problem is. So we're going to talk about a couple more scenes, and then I'll get into that subject. Please, if you listen and Skype the show, it's Rock Metal Talk, or email me and we'll set something up for you to call in. You can email me at j@rockmetaltalk.com or hit me up on Facebook. Check out the page. Whatever. Contact me through Spreaker, YouTube, or iTunes, or however you can get a hold of me. The part, basically my favorite part so far is when she beat the dude that looks like Obama up in the school with the fire extinguisher and bashed his head in. It was pretty intense there when the little fat kid that got his knife taken away in the first episode seen the guidance counselor breaking into the cabinet so she can get her son the opiates or whatever type of shit she was getting him out of there that he must have got caught in school with already, or one of the kids did previously, because the little fat weird teenager dude was a freshman when her son was a senior, so he's been out of school for a little bit of time. I know the drugs, he's trying to overdo the acting with the drugs, but I also think they're all trying to overdo it, and it's just got a sense that I don't know. It's not coming off as well as The Walking Dead. That's all I can say. Last week I did the show, and I did the show very late at night. And the next day, a lot of the reviews came in and seemed to agree with everything. So we're going to test it tonight, and we're going to talk about what the actual problem is with the show and the writing of it. I think it's too soon for a prequel. I think this should be something that may have come out after The Walking Dead was done. I think they're degrading the Walking Dead brand with this a little bit at this point. The problem is, and why it feels so slow moving, is that we already know what happened. We already know. This isn't Star Wars and it's 27 years later. We're so familiar with the story that it's dragging it out. We already know what happened. We didn't know what caused it. We still don't know what caused it. But we know there was a zombie apocalypse, and it's taken over basically the United States. I don't know how far out of the United States it's supposed to have gone, but at the point we're at with The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, it's basically spreading from the East Coast to the West Coast. So right now I think more of the looting and all that has already happened over in Atlanta and, you know, basically everywhere that The Walking Dead takes place. Like I said, we already know what happens. So we're waiting for Rick to come out all fucking psychotic looking for his dead wife, basically. But I'm looking forward for the regular Walking Dead to come back. We're going to continue the shows during that season as well. So I don't know if they're going to run simultaneously. I'm not sure how this is all working yet. But I would imagine as this one ends, The Walking Dead's going to begin. So it should be cool. But you're expecting to see those people, and hopefully that's going to eventually happen down the road, where these two teams of people that survived run into each other. I think that's what they're aiming for. But right now at this stage of the game with this show, I do feel it's being degraded, the quality of the Walking Dead brand. So I think they're going to have to step it up a notch, even though they got renewed for another season already before this one even came out. They must know that good shit's going to happen and the ratings are going to come back up and increase. Last week, there was over 10 million viewers. It was the highest premiere of a cable television show in the history of cable TV. We'll see what the ratings are from tonight. Probably be announced tomorrow. And we'll see where the decline is. Or, you know, maybe people said it was so slow it might have brought more viewers in. But I think everybody that watched it last week either loved it or hated it, or they're just going to stick with it because it's the Walking Dead brand. Now, The Walking Dead is also going to come out with a specialized show. I guess it's going to be like a 2-hour Sharknado type thing where the zombie outbreak happens on a plane. Snakes on a plane, zombies on a plane, Sharknado. We're heading to the same, jumping the shark. I really hate that. I'm not a big John Hine fan. I don't like his website either. The website he sold. But to use the term, it comes from the Happy Days where Fonzie water skis and jumps the shark. That's when Happy Days jumped the shark, and that's how the term came about. So stuff like that. But I don't know. I'll still watch the stupid zombie outbreak on the airplane. It's just something that I'm going to do, and that I'll always watch that type of stuff. Anything to do with The Walking Dead, I'm going to give it an opportunity. But I hope they're not going to degrade it even further at that point with this series that's going to happen next. Whether it's a 3-part or a mini-series, however they're going to do it. I really didn't get that much information on it. What I seen is what I seen. It is what it is, and as it be. I don't know. But it should be exciting. I mean, it looks like it's going to be more of the regular Walking Dead style. It's going to be a whole episode or something dedicated to the outbreak happening in an airplane. So I digress from Fear the Walking Dead 2. But I have a choice? I have to keep it short because there's not much for me to go on. There's not much storyline for me to feed on. Yeah, the daughter's boyfriend is sick. The brother stopped her from going back to see him because he was throwing up from... he's going through withdrawals for his heroin addiction. So that stopped him. So the families are kind of together. The father had to go with the dumb ex-wife. She's an idiot fighting about the kids. It's typical bullshit, but it's overdoing it. And I told you not come until next week. And you knew the guy was coming. How did she get home so fast from work when everybody else was in a roadblock? Certain people got where they needed to go in 2 seconds, and then other people had to sit in it. So I don't get that whole mess. And how did she not know what's going on? She said she studied. Come on. Who studied that much that they didn't know the guy got shot down last week and took like fucking 30 shots? They shot some other girl towards the end that was walking through the street. She looked like a zombie. She just looked like a normal person that wasn't listening to the police at that point. She just looked like something that rolled out of a rave on some good ecstasy or something. And they just hosed her down. But, that's what the police do these days anyway. They poop their little pants and then start shooting their gun. So it's going to be another short one. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully everything is feeding through here okay. It's the internet. It's one day you got a good show. You have 10 good shows in a row, and then you have 6 bad ones. So I should have 4 more by the time I'm done here. But like I said, I had no idea this was based on a graphic novel. I didn't know there was any graphic novel called Fear the Walking Dead. I noticed that in the opening credits, so I'm going to take a look for that. But I really wish some of you guys would call in so we can have a further conversation and make more than a 15-minute show. But it seemed like everybody liked last week's. It's just me talking by myself, so it's strictly my opinion. Throw in The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead.